Hey, 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 everybody. It is Sunday evening, day almost three of no children this weekend, which has been very interesting and very weird. I don't know how to feel about it yet, but by the time I feel about it, they'll be back tomorrow. But I want to welcome everybody in. Thanks for coming and tuning in tonight. I have a very interesting topic tonight, one that I didn't really know much about or even really kind of knew until I saw a thing or two on Twitter and then kind of dove into it. But first, I want to start off by saying thank you to Mr. Nether for gifting one subscription, who that actually went to Ash, our friend Ash, who I hope is feeling a little bit better. I was supposed to stream with Ash yesterday, but Ash has a little injury inflicted by a child, but he's hanging in there. He's doing a lot better. Also, want to say hello to Mike. Yeah, Mike, I'm late and gay. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. It's the first time I've been late, so meh. So we're gonna give a few minutes to everyone to kind of jump in and play in the pot here to kind of see where things are going. Um, Here in Boston, it's another rainy, cold day. I think it was like 60 degrees again. I think the sun maybe broke out once, if that. I went and got a couple of new hats today, so that was very exciting. I tried to get new like flat shoes, like dress shoes, um, but the smallest size that they go down to in women's is 6. And then if I wanted a 5, I could get one, but I would have to order it and have it shipped, which is stupid because I want to walk out with it now. And they didn't have the ones and kid shoes that I liked, that way. Shut up, Mike. There are no crystals for being late. Okay? I was just late. I was here. I was here. I was sitting here. But I was trying to do things, but it was fine. Everything's fine. We got everything going. My beautiful slideshow is ready to present. And I also have this cool little I didn't put it on, but the manuscripts of the Voynich is actually on display at Yale. So I have their PDF version of their book that's on display there. So we'll go ahead and go through that. So first, what am I going to do? I want to actually do this, and we're going to add this slide here. So I'll go back. I wish I could hide this little thing. Oh, there we go. So, hey friends, welcome back to Mom's Mystery and Mayhem. Picture this. You're flipping through a dusty old book at a garage sale, and it's written in a language no one can read, with drawings of plants that don't exist and women bathing in weird green tubes. Sounds like something out of a real life science fiction movie, right? Well, this book is real. Okay? This book is real and has been stumping the world's smartest minds for over 600 years. It's called the Voynich Manuscripts, and today we're diving into its secrets from medieval monks to alien conspiracies. Is it a code? Is it a prank? Or is it a message from another dimension? Grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's unravel this mayhem together. So, this is very interesting to me, okay, because it's literally 600 years old and nobody has been able to decipher this code. And like I said, it is on display at Yale University currently. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the book because it has some very interesting um, drawings, different words, different. Just it's interesting. Um, so this is the book that's on display. It's 6 by 8. Um, and it's written on vellum paper, which I've never heard of, but that's what it's written on. So it's kind of interesting. Like I said, it's on display at Yale University. And I hope you guys can kind of see this. Oh, I can zoom in. So if you look at these different writings and stuff like that and different pictures, um, that looks like some sort of bird over a lake. And you can see the different writing underneath. um, and different pictures. This kind of looks like a snake or something next to a lake. Um, and it's just quite interesting on where this book came from and what it is. You know what I mean? So it's very confusing. It's kind of like, when you find an old recipe that your grandmother left behind or your mother left behind or your little kid brings you a drawing and they're like, "Oh, mommy, daddy, look what I drew for you." And you're like, "Um, oh, this is great." And you have to kind of like figure out what it is. Like, is this a person? Is this a bicycle? Is this an animal? Like, what did you draw? Or, the chicken scratch of your grandparents writing out a recipe. Um, you know what I mean? It's that's kind of how the Voynich manuscript is, but it's on a medieval scale. Um, Vellum is made out of flesh, usually lambskin. Thank you. I should have done research up to that. Um, Upper 50s there. Yeah, I'm cool with upper 50s if the sun is out. When the sun's not out, it's cold and it's damp and it's dreary. But look at these colors and these shapes. And just the random details that are put into this. Um, it hasn't been deciphered yet. So I'll show you guys a few more of these random pages before we get into the meat and potatoes. But looking at a lot of these things, it almost looks like something out of a Dr. Seuss book to me. Something kind of unworldly, something creative, something, I don't know, that you would see in your dreams or maybe in a movie that's based out of like a different world, a different society, a different place almost. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and throw this up here back. So before I get back into this, hey Neuro, I was just about to say all that. Like Neuro said, make sure to hit that follow button, smash that thumbs up, subscribe, share. Repost is a new one that's really great. Sometimes I don't know who to watch or where all my friends are if I'm looking for somebody, that I want to say hi to that day. It's really great to scroll through, you know, your follow page and stuff like that and see who's reposting stuff to see where they're at. So you have a familiar face or a name that you're going into, which is really great. So, again, tonight we're talking about the Voynich Manuscript. It's a mysterious text shrouded in mystery and intrigue. Ash thinks this book is not from here or was written in from a channeling form from another world. That's when I've been researching this stuff, it's kind of like where I was going with it too. It's very interesting. Um, it's very, very interesting. So, what is the Voynich manuscript? Exploring the mysteries and the theories behind the Voynich manuscript. So let's start with the basics. Just imagine a book about the size of a paperback novel written on animal skin. It's 240 pages of pure mystery. It's written in the early 1400s and it's unlike anything else from that time. The Voynich manuscript isn't just a book, it's a puzzle that's been driving people nuts for complete centuries. The book has defied everyone, including like code breakers, linguistics, and we'll touch base. Even AI in 2025 still can't decode this book. Um, so we'll go over all that. We got some wild theories from time travelers to secret societies, and we're going to explore it all. And in the middle, in the end, in the beginning, um, actually, right now, I'm going to ask you, Ash, kind of put it out there what he thought um, this manuscript is. So whoever else is out there watching, put your answer in there and let me know what you first think of when I say Voynich manuscript. Did you know what it is? Have you ever heard of it? And what do you think this book is? Neuro has to drive home. Drive safe, Neuro. Make sure you let us know when you get home safe. Um, so I just saw someone pop in over on YouTube. If you're over there, come say hi. I will let you know that Rumble is the place to be. So come head over to Rumble. The chat is a lot more engaging, a lot more fun. But before you do that, make sure you smash that like button over there for me, because that would be great. So this is a 600-year-old book. No one can read. So fun facts here. The origin. It's been carbon dated to about 1404 to 1438, likely made in Europe, possibly Italy or Central Europe, named after Wilfred Voynich, a book dealer who bought it in 1912 from a Jesuit college. The appearance, it's a 6 by 9 inches, written on vellum calfskin. It contains 38,000 words in an unknown script called Voynich's, with no clear punctuation or grammar. It has been divided into 5 parts. Botanical, so we'll go over some of the weird drawings of different plants. Astronomical, so after charts and zodiac symbols. Biological, so there are nude figures, mostly women in green pools or tubes. Cosmological, so circle diagrams, and pharmaceutical, where they draw pictures of different plants and herbs and vials, kind of like they're making potions and stuff like that. Hey, Cass, happy Sunday. I hope Lake Life is treating you well, and I hope your Sunday should be less chaotic since the kids don't have school tomorrow. So I hope you have that going for you. But I hope you had a wonderful day, love. Province. So it may have belonged to Emperor Rudolph II um, in 1576 to 1612. A collector of oddities, later owned by a scholar like John Dee, who was an occultist, and it is now currently being displayed over at Yale's library. The condition of it. So some pages are missing, others are folded out like medieval pop-outs and pop-ups, adding to its quirky charm. Hello, Sean. Welcome in. So again, the 5 sections of the 209 pages of the Voynich Manuscript. Again, botanical. So there are strange plants. None match known species currently that we have here. So it's very interesting because, I mean, back in the 1400s, I mean, you're going to draw information that somebody else can use. You know what I mean? Letting you know whether that plant was safe. Was it poisonous? Did it make you itchy? Did somebody eat it and die? Did somebody eat it and break out in weird rashes? So usually when you have, you know, a book with different drawings in it, it's usually to teach the next generation or teach your fellow man what it is, what that can possibly, have for you. Hey Jay, welcome in. You did make it. Welcome in. Make sure you smash that like button, guys. Um, Biological. So there are women in green tubes or pools, almost like jacuzzis or hot tubs. They're very interesting, very weird. And you'll see the different color schemes. They're pretty much the same color, which if you look back to like cave drawings and stuff like that, they all kind of had the same colors because they're using the same things. They're using generally plants to dye their ink or you know food or anything like that, their clothing. It also has astronomical um, prospects, so it's got different star charts like zodiac symbols and stuff like that. um, Cosmological, it's got circular diagrams, maybe maps of the stars. And pharmaceuticals, it's got herb vials and possible recipes, but we still don't know. You had to talk to Ellie about fighting Enderman. Yeah, Endermen are very important. I still don't know how to beat them, but maybe someday I'll know. Um, so it's Journey. So the Voynich Manuscript contains mysterious illustrations and texts that have baffled scholars for centuries. So if you found this book, what would you think it was about? A recipe book, a diary? What would you do? You think it's an encyclopedia? Like, or is it just someone who's bored writing stories and doodling in a notebook? So the 1400s was when it was created. Again, it was carbon dated back to 1404 to 1438. It was then passed off to Rudolph II in the 1600s, um, possibly owned by Rudolph II and John D, which it was later bought by Wilfred van Noych, who bought it from a Jesuit in 1912. And then in 1969 to currently 2025, this book is in the Yale Library. Jay thinks it could be a cookbook. I know Ash took a guess earlier that he thought it could be a book that was brought here by another civilization, whether alien or foreign, coming down from above. And this may be maybe something from their planet that they brought down here, maybe saying, this is what we have up here. Are any of these things down here? It's kind of an interesting thing. Um, all right. So, interpreting the Voynich manuscript. So, here's where it gets juicy, guys. The Voynich manuscript isn't just hard to read, it's like taunting us. The writing looks like it should make sense, but it doesn't. And the pictures, they're beautiful but bizarre. So, let's break down why this book is the ultimate medieval brain teaser. So, Ash has a thought. I'm going to throw this up. So, Ash thinks, honestly, it's channeled hearing, more info now. So, I'm assuming Ash may be asking his crystal for more information regarding the Voynich manuscript. And my question is what is it really called? Because Voynich obviously isn't what it's really called. That's just, who had the book, who bought the book, who had the book, who passed the book on. So it is just a manuscript from some point in time in the 1400s from an unknown place. So an overview of the theories surrounding the puzzling nature of the Voynich manuscript and its meanings. Um, so the unreadable script. Voynich's uses 20 to 30 unique glyphs arranged in words with patterns like a real language. So it has repeated words, short phrases that continue throughout the book. So it's kind of like our words when you open a book and you have your ands, you have the thes, you have the I's, you have the me's, you have the they, them, where, who. So you have all those repeated words and short phrases, but nobody can translate it yet. Not even AI in 2025. They have run this thing in current AI settings, and it still cannot figure out what these words and patterns are. The strains illusions. So the plants don't match, like I said, any known species. Some look like roots or fantasy flora. So, like I said, it kind of looks like, the big puffy trees that are in the Dr. Seuss books and stuff like that. The astronomical chart shows stars and zodiac signs, but their purpose is unclear. So, could it be a map? Could it be directions? Could it be how they came down, what they saw? And then they have a biological section with women in tombs, which looks kind of sci-fi, like it's a rare body. Um, some chatter that I've looked up on X and stuff like that think that possibly these women in tubes, could it be a birthing ritual or to help women? Nowadays we have home births, we have water births. Some places still do water births in the ocean with dolphins, where the dolphins actually assist the mother in the birthing process, which is funky and weird. Um, so we really have no idea. Like nobody has a clue for 600 years what this is, which is surprising to me because usually by now they'd even make a guess and be like, "Yep." I mean, who were we to even second guess if they're like, "Yep, this is what it is. This was blah 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 written by the, you know, I don't know, alien extraterrestrials from planet Mushu or I don't know." Um, you just don't know. And it has an unknown purpose. So, was it a medical book? Was it a star guide? Was it a secret ritual text? Nobody knows, and the lack of context makes it maddening. It's also historical mystery. We don't know who wrote it or why. Was it a scholar, a monk, a prankster? Its early history is a blank slate. 2025 updates. So, like I said, recent studies, which was Oxford in 2025, suggest that Voynich, Vin, I'm going to say this word a million times tonight, and it's going to be the same thing. Voyniches mimics a constructed language, but AI decoding attempts still produces gibberish. So it's it's weird. Um, So Ash said it appears channeled from somewhere else. Now, again, not we're sure. Mr. Mike says, can't say what it is, but I feel like it's written in code. So it would need a cipher to break it. That's what they're trying to figure out is what the cipher could be. And for 600 years, they still can't figure it out. But it kind of goes back to like the Zodiac killer, same thing. Remember, he had published or they found another letter or something like that. And they tried to decipher it and they still couldn't because it made absolutely zero sense. Um, Sean said a fantasy medieval autistic fan fiction absolutely could be. Ash said, in what position were the astrological signs seen from? Is it seen from Earth or somewhere else from their site? It's a great question that people even here have. Um, we don't know. It's completely baffling, and again, I'll show the book again, closer to a couple of other slides that I have, to go through it. Yeah, Mushu was the first word that I thought of. I couldn't think of a random word to come out of my brain, but it's fine. Jay said it has to be a cookbook written by women. That's why AI can't figure it out. Which brings me to my next topic. I found this stupid post. I should have saved it. But it was from this woman who, of course, was like, "Oh, only men have tried to decode and decipher this." And they're saying that a man wrote this. But what if? What if women wrote this book in a secret language because women were so deprived and couldn't have a language of their own and speak their own words? So they had to write in secret code so the men wouldn't know what they were discussing. And I'm like, you really had to go there? Really? You really had to go there? Um, but Jay, that is a possibility that this book was written by women for women, which again could explain why men or AI couldn't figure it out. Yeah, it was super gay, Mike. Um, I don't even know if I still. Yeah, I got rid of the X post because it was absolutely as soon as I started reading it and I was like, this woman is walking around, 250 pounds with blue hair and gauges in her ear, screaming feminism with a vagina hat on. Like, I was like, this is stupid. And the comments underneath it were even more maddening. I was like, why do we keep doing this to women? Just somebody just needs to tell us to shut up again. Ash doesn't have enough spicy rocks. Yeah, strong enough rocks to ward off that level of gayness. I agree. the script. So as you can see here, this is just look at this weird drawing. It's like a pregnant woman floating in what would appear to be water. They're all naked, but they're either lined up or stacked on top of each other. So is it like deciphering? Is it like, you know, people coming out of people? Like, that's how it is nowadays. Like, is it depicting like there's a woman and then there's another woman because women come from women? Um, or is it like a weird beam me up Scotty situation? But it's definitely a language, but it's also a 600-year-old riddle. Um, you would look at this and look at how the writing is. It's neat. Somebody took time to do this. They needed, inkwells. They needed time. They needed somebody who knew how to write in the 1400s, which was rare all on its own. Nobody knew how to read or write. I mean, even kings had their courts to help them write letters to send off to kings and scholars all over the land, you know what I mean? So they had to they had to learn how to write this from somewhere. And it's neat and it's legible. Um and it's oddly fascinating to me on where it could have come from. Mike, we do. We 100% do. Mike says we need to bring back medieval witch burnings for commie lesbians. Maybe this book is that. Maybe this book is to warn us about the commie lesbians. And maybe the secret vials and the plants are the potions to or the elixirs to cure them of their fucking psychoticness. I don't know. But all I know is it's very interesting. So I'm going to bring this back down from here to kind of show you more of these pictures from the book. So you can see here, it even has in the back on the pages drawings as well. So it looks like it has to be some sort of watercolor. Um, oh, I just pulled my own hair. That hurt. But if you look here, I mean, it looks like it has the roots to the plant, and then it comes up and it has these different shapes and stuff like that. Now, the question is that I have, this is kind of interesting. You'll see again the repeating colors. Could there have been other colors? Yes, blue, yellow, green, purple. But they didn't have the means to make those colors. So could this be depicted as accurate? We don't know. Um, maybe it was just more of the shapes and maybe red represents a darker color and green represents a lighter color. We really don't know. Um, yes. Yes, absolutely. Considering that nobody knew how to read or write back in the day, is it possible that some retard thought that they would write their own story in their own language since they didn't know what they were doing? Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Um, but here's a blue. You know what I mean? And what it like, is this a plant? Like, is this almost like the sunflower seeds? Like, you know how you have like a sunflower plant and you can kind of see all the seeds in the middle? Um, but they're so odd. Like the shapes, the connection, like, and then it gets rooted down. This looks like it's got little hairs. It almost looks like if you took like a scorpion tail and you drew it, but it's attached to a plant. Could these plants have been along? Like, those feed me Seymour plants, you know what I mean? I really have to stop saying that. I hear it all the time. But again, all of these letters, look at how neat and thoughtful and precise these are. You know what I mean? I did that on purpose. But again, you have your roots of the plant here. Comes up into more plants. It's the book looks maybe like it was ruined or punctured here. Maybe it got wet somewhere along the lines. Again, this book is small. It's only 6 by 9. So it's not that big. It's a small little book. So the writing is extremely small, but extremely neat. So there's some more plants. I want to get to the celestial. But just the shapes of them are odd, and the fact that they have the drawings, front and center, but then they have other drawings behind the scenes. So they drew some of the pictures first, then wrote over it, and then drew more pictures on the same page. But again, I've never seen anything shaped like this here in nature. We're going to go through them. Should have bookmarked the pages that I wanted to show you because there are 240 pages. So I wish there was a way. I wonder if there is a way. It's kind of like going through your kids' artwork where you don't know which one to keep and which one to throw away. A pot plant. Interesting. There's 7 red parts to that leaf. What would be the significance to that, Ash? See, I wish you were feeling better because these are definitely some things. Maybe we can talk about this on your show one night. Because I definitely have a lot more questions. They definitely have to signify something. There's just lots of, some of the stuff, looks like a flower. But just the shapes of them, like this one has 2 different leaves. Like, could these be leaves? Could this be maybe what blueberries look like way back in the day? We honestly have no idea, but it's interesting that they drew these plants, not just the part you see above the ground, but also what you see below the ground. So it must signify that maybe there could be 2 different kind of plants that look the same, but their root systems are different and maybe they're used in different ways. So there's lots of different pictures. I mean, it just, again, with the roots drawn, this is page 24. So we have lots of pages to go through. That one kind of looks like a pot plant, Mikey. So they're just, I sat here and I looked through all of these today, trying to drum up my imagination. This is probably something that if I had younger kids, if I, be like, hey, what does this look like? You know what I like? What do you think this could be? These definitely look like some sort of dandelions, but it's weird that it kind of looks like an eye in the middle of the dandelion. But through history, through time, through different seasons, different animals, different people, different humans, different ways of life, plants that we had back in the day are not the same plants we had today. So could these plants have existed here on Earth? Yes. Could they have died out with time and extinctions? Different history points. You had your mud floods. You had your um, when the Earth was flooded with Noah's Ark. So all of these could have been here and been destroyed and now they're no longer here. But that one looks like an octopus underground. Like, they're just, I mean, it looks so weird. So there's 7 densities of existence to the creator. Interesting. The snozberries taste like snozberries. Could you imagine lickable wallpaper? Also, fun fact, I think I already guys told you, but that's one of my favorite movies. Gina, I deal with the same thing. I have tubes of artwork, and finally I was like, do I really need to see this? Yes, all the time. My daughter is 14 and she's bringing home all her stuff from middle school. And she's got all of this art stuff. And she was like, "Can I keep this in your room?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "What do I do with it?" And I was like, "Well, you have 2 options. You can store it now yourself in some sort of place in your room to keep it for yourself, or hear me out, can just throw it away because you're going to make more." I'm like, if I saved everything you guys drew, wrote, I'd be drowning in paper that you don't need. Like, there's so much stuff, Cass. I save some of it. I have a little box for all of their stuff. I can't keep all of it. It's way too much. And then they come home with all like their ceramics and all that stuff. Way too much stuff. Mikey says, keep in mind we've also genetically modified lots of plants from nature. Lots of plants don't look like they do now in nature. Exactly. The amount of broccoli that you would need to eat currently to get the same amount of nutrients years and years and years ago is hell of a lot different. You probably only needed 1 serving size of broccoli back then. Now you literally need to eat like 10 heads of broccoli in order to get the same nutrients. Um, so not only are they modifying it, they're stripping away all of the nutrients. So it 100% could have been what the food or the grains looked like back then, and now it's all gone. 100%. Um, so here are some of the weird drawings. And I'm hoping to get some of these celestial drawings here. So these are the circle drawings, which are the cosmos, the sky, and maybe a map. Um, Again, we really don't know. Um, Also, you have more of these women um, in now I can't even describe what these pictures are. I mean, are they talking into something? Is it a plant they're holding up? They're just so baffling. And you can see, the letters they repeat. So could that be like our instance of the word like, I don't know, tot or pop? You know what I mean? Could that be the word pop? It's got repeating letters and they had their own language. So even if we said, oh, that 3-letter word for us would be pop like a balloon, who knows what it could have meant to them back then in the day? We don't know. All we know is that these drawings of the plants don't exist, stars that don't align, and these look like a medieval hot tub. I mean, it's absolutely it's so weird to me. Um, the Nether Knight says it's not that everyone illiterate back in the 1400s. Royalty, barons, priests, monks, and scholars were typically taught to read and write. Yes. Um, that's 100% true. Um, the circle drawings look like crop circles I've seen in pictures. I never put that together. Um, Crop circles is another fun one. It definitely could people messing around, absolutely 100%. Um, People have come forward and been like, "Oh, that was just a prank," but there are some that are not there in crops, and then you wake up and it's the most intricate drawing you've seen from the sky that nobody would be able to do in that short amount of time without lights and engineering degree and all that stuff. Another said, if your family had enough money, you could hire a monk to teach you how to read, possibly go to a university. I did not know that. But then again, another, money buys everything. Yes, Jay, I'm a squirrel. I'm a pigeon. You know what I mean? Sean says, how don't the stars align? So it's a simple matter of math. And so that can be figured out if we know what the stars are. So in the drawings, if you align it with the stars and the celestial maps that we have currently, nothing adds up, which is interesting. So were those there prior? And now we have a whole new set of stars because we're in a different location? Or is it a map that people drew from other worldly positions in the earth? I don't know. Ash said, I bet those circle drawings have a binary embedded in them. Lots of real ones do. Hey, Colty, how are you, honey? Long time no see there, sir. All right, so we have some scholar theories going on here. So as you can see here, you guys probably know that's a cipher. So A can equal that letter or symbol. You know, numbers can equal letters and letters can equal numbers and shapes can equal letters. There's just all sorts of things. So even though they're all written in letters, could there be numbers in there? I don't know. So cipher, it's a coded text hiding a real language like Latin or Italian. Code breakers like William Friedman tried substitution ciphers, but he had zero luck. A 2023 study found the script's structure resembles natural languages, not random nonsense. So when they ran this through, I'm assuming another AI, computer programming, or people looking into this manuscript, it does resemble a natural language. So it is written in a way with the repeated shapes, the repeated words, that it is telling you something. It is written for you to understand, that it's not just random letters on a page neatly written. Could this be a lost language? It could be an extinct dialect or a constructed script, like a medieval Esperanto, which some could link it to Semitic or Turkic scripts, but there haven't been any matches. Like Sean was talking about earlier, could it be a hoax? Could it be a 15th century prank to scam rich collectors like Rudolph II? You know, hey, let's write this book. Can you imagine Sean in like the 1400s? Like, hey guys, let's do this. We're gonna write a whole book, and we're gonna be like secret languages we can't decipher, and let's sell it to this rich guy and make lots of money and disappear. Um, but the effort, years of consistent writing, makes this debated. Herbal or alchemy. The plants and vials suggest a medical or alchemical guide, maybe symbolic. Only thing is none of the known herbs or drawings that they have match any plants that we currently either have today or have record of in our history books. 2025 insight, like I said earlier, AI analysis. So the University of Malta in 2025, they suggest that it's not gibberish. Again, it is a natural language, but they still can't decode it, keeping the mystery alive. So it's so weird. Yes, pigeons, pigeons, pigeons. I think I have the pigeon. There's the pigeon. Um, that's a great question. I'd be very interested. I mean, Elon, I think, feels like maybe has a little more important things on his hand than the ability to send his autistic army to figure out what this cipher, what this manuscript actually means. Yeah, you. It's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. All right. So now we come to the fun, fun, fun conspiracy theories. Time travel manual. So X user, Cryptic Scribe, who had 12,000 likes on that, claim it's a guide from future humans or time travelers with plans from another era and star charts for navigation. Maybe it's how to grow food in 3025. One post jokes. So, time travel, that's an interesting concept. Um, Everything is possible when you love in the dream. Very true. Maybe it is a language from somewhere else and interpreted through the channel. Um, it, it, I mean, they came out. When was it, Ash? Last year, or was it this year that um, we can astro project into different locations and see different things? Um, Time travel, 100% could be true. There are pictures out there. There are hundreds of theories that time travel exists. Do I think time travel exists? Absolutely. Will I probably get made fun of for it? 100%. That's okay because I stand by it. Um, Alien Blueprint, TikTokers, yeah, fucking TikTokers, had 1.5 million views on Voynich Alien, says it's an extraterrestrial manual for tech or biology. The tubes, alien plumbing, or a spaceship engine per Stardust Seeker. Gas, it's fine. I can't spell or read. And you guys find that out every week that you guys come back. Um, have they definitely discovered if the Valium is from calf skin or could it be from human flesh? Everything that I did read and look into and find, it was definitely from an animal source, some sort of calf. Um, so some sort of um, I would presume when they say calf, you know, some sort of cow or lamb um type scenario. Um so why wouldn't we, since we are the time travelers, use a language we can fucking read? Kaz says, good point, Sean. Mike, what do you mean God help you? Bro, those are fighting words. We're going to talk about this. I agree with the pigeon. Time traveler theory says aliens we encounter are just from us from the future. 100%. Baby cow. Ash says, I agree with that manual theory, but from a channeling form to a human being. Could be. Secret society code. So X posts Voynich secrets suggest it's a Rosy Croatian, or a Masonic text hiding forbidden knowledge, like AI or immortally. Elon's probably decoding it for XAI. So there is your Elon information that you were talking about there, Mr. Sean. Um, could it be? I mean, look at the Knights Templar or the Freemasons. Um, it could be hidden, forbidden knowledge. Um, maybe back in the 1400s, maybe we had an AI. Maybe we had hidden technology. that we didn't know about. I feel like ancient civilizations were 1,000 times more smarter than we are now. And I feel like our technology is getting smarter, and in the same points, we're getting stupider. Um, when I had questions back in the day, we had to walk to the library, put work into it, or we just never thought about the answer after we asked the question. And now everything is at our fingertips. You type it into anything. You have your Meta AI, you have your Grok, you have all sorts of different ways to get your information. And do we even know the information that we're getting is real? We're trusting what we're reading on the internet. Even in the books, we're trusting what we're reading in the encyclopedias and the dictionaries. Shit, for all we know, we could have time travelers, and when we say the word fun, who knows? Maybe the word fun, time travelers time, they're like, haha, we're gonna be like, oh, are we having fun today? And it's some random word like, hey, are we gonna shit today? And they're like laughing at us. It's all crazy. Um, Cursed artifact. So a playful extrend calls it a cursed book that messes with your mind. Users share fake stories of scholars seeing glyphs in their dreams with spooky emojis for laughs. Another says, I think the aliens are flesh-like machines to house the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim. They're extra-dimensional beings. The Nephilims scare the crap out of me. All of that stuff does, and I 100% believe in all of that stuff, and it's a whole nother world. Another I think you and Ash would get along wouldn't like stellar. Like you guys would have like the most interesting conversations. It would be great. The library. Library. Ash has another. To an extent, you are not wrong. We call them, though, form projections, but both sides uses them. Yes, Colty, like the word gay used to mean happy. Exactly. All right. Why it's still unsolved. Why is it still unsolved? And why we love it. So, why hasn't anyone cracked this code in 600 years? And why do we keep coming back to it? Let's wrap up with what makes the Voynich Manuscript the ultimate mystery and why it's perfect for us. Um, so, like, just the think of this as like a big scrapbook gone wild where someone spent years drawing plants and stars but forgot to like include like the instruction manual. Again, it's kind of like when your kid hands you something and like, here, you know what that is, and you're like, in your head you're like, nope, I don't. And you're like, yeah, I totally understand it. Like, what if they wrote this book in the 1400s and they passed it off and they're like, oh, you know what this means? And they're like, yeah, I don't want to look like an idiot. I'm not going to tell them that I have no idea what this means. Or that ancient civilization is either not here anymore, and what happened to them, like your Incas and all your different history book, communities way back in the beginning of days, they're not here anymore. So it could be a lost language that we don't know. Um, it's crazy. Um, yeah, you don't know what a now I can't say it, Nephilim. So a Nephilim, like Ash said, they're basically beings, or some might call them giants. So they're terrifying. They're scary. I don't like those. We could definitely make a show out of it, 100%. I'm actually going to try to see if Joyce. I haven't seen Joyce lately in the comments. I know she's super busy after graduation and her new job and stuff like that. But I'm going to see if Joyce can come on, and kind of talk about different biblical, um, kind of show. which we could tie those into as well. So why it's still unsolved. So the script complexity. So Voynich's mimics real language, like I said earlier. It's got the patterns, entropy, but there is no cipher or language that fits. The ambiguous art. Again, the plants and the figures don't match reality, making context impossible. Are they symbolic? Are they fictional? Or are they alien? Again, nobody knows. This could have been what plants looked like when these, I would say, humans wrote the book, right? Because you need opposable thumbs to write. That these could have been here, and then there was a whole, earthly reset, and now they're not here anymore. Lost history. We know little about its creation or the early owners, leaving us without a key to its meaning. And again, always the hoax versus the real debate. If it is a hoax, it's a masterpiece. 600 years, I mean, 1400s, like I said, some prankster was like, let's write this. That to me doesn't seem logical in my brain. Nowadays, yeah, you know what I mean? You definitely have your hoaxes, you have stuff like that. I definitely think it's real in some instance. I don't know what it could be or where it could have come from. Um, but it's definitely something that I will um think about more. Um, and probably touch base back and forth every so often to see if anything has come to. Um, Jay. It's an owner manuals for an ancient VCR. That's why we still can't figure out how to set the time on. I've never been able to set the time on a VCR. It always flashed. And then someone would come over and be like, "Oh, I know how to do that." And they'd set it and then the power would go out like 6 months later and it would just blink again until you didn't need it anymore. Um, yeah. All right. Why we love it. So, this is like when you were trying to figure out, like I said, what your kid meant by "I need the thingy." The Voynich Manuscript is humanity's thingy. So we're all just guessing, and that's what makes it so fun. It's mysterious, it's chaotic, and it's total mayhem. So it's a universal puzzle. Colty was the person that would set everybody's VCRs. You have some talent because I don't know. I can do cars, most cars. Most cars I can fix the time on, although the new ones are super easy. You just go to setting and you hit a button nowadays. It's not really rocket science. Like back in the day when you would have to hold like the H and like the radio up button plus FM button, like all sorts of weird stuff. Um, so why we love it. So it's a universal puzzle. It's a mystery anyone can try to solve, from scholars to moms at home. It's just like a medieval escape room. Which, if you guys don't know me, I love escape rooms. I have done, gosh, probably close to 100 escape rooms, and I will continue to do more. They're like my thing. You could probably put me in an escape room by myself, and I will try my hardest to get out. Will I get out? Who knows? But guys haven't done an escape room yet, great time for kids, grown-ups, date night, anything. They're super, super, super fun. Um, that's partially true, Mike. Some women can't tell time. Okay, some women can't tell time. Some women can. Okay, the women who can tell time can land planes the correct way. Women who can't tell time, they're the ones that shouldn't be flying planes, and they're coming in upside down. Mikey, pop culture appeal featured in games like Voynich Secrets in 2024. Tons of books. tons of X memes and stuff like that. It's also a cultural icon. So, a 2025 Netflix document teased a new AI attempts boosting its fame. So, again, this was kind of hidden back all of these years. I've watched countless hours on Discovery Channel and all of those, and I've never heard of the Voynich manuscripts before in my life. So when I came across this, I was like, "Oh, this is interesting, and maybe this will capture, you know, you guys as well, because it's not something that we tend to think about or even know, um, and it's just new." They can. Some can land planes, I promise. Conspiracy fun. The alien and time travel theories are pure entertainment, sparking laughs and debate on X and TikTok. Um, which is funny because those conspiracy theories of the alien and time travel theories is something that I believe in, mostly that this possibly could be. Um, they could have come here from another realm. They could have come here from outer space, meaning, outside of the ice wall, the Antarctic Circle. Um, and it's something that they have over there that they brought over here, maybe like, oh, they wrote themselves a book and like, hey, when you travel to this new land, this is what we have here. So you're going to need this recipe cookbook, stay well, repopulate the planet over there kind of thing. And then just human curiosity. Humans are curious by nature. We want to know how things work, why they work. It's just how we're built. So it just reminds us of how much we still don't know about our past, keeping us humble and curious. And again, is this something from our past or could it be something from our future? We don't know. So we have traveled from medieval Europe to alien spaceships, and we're still no closer to cracking the Voynich manuscripts. But isn't that the beauty of it, folks? It's a reminder that some mysteries keep us guessing, keep us dreaming, and keep the mayhem alive. Next week, we're diving into another wild tale and a special guest. Until then, keep sleuthing, keep tweeting, stay mysterious. This is Mum's Mystery and Mayhem. I hope you guys enjoyed that wonderful slideshow um, that I enjoy doing. It's a lot of fun. Um, if you guys like the slideshows, I'll continue to do them, or I can print off a document or throw the document up there and just read it line by line. But I enjoy these. I think and hope you guys enjoy them and that they're easy for you to understand, catch your attention. And if you're watching this on replay, either today or next week, or I don't know, hopefully, some kid in 2 years is like, I wonder what this Voynich manuscript is all about. And they plug it in there and they come across my show from 2 years ago. Um, and they're like, oh, this is cool. Let me use this slideshow. And they make their own and stuff like that. Um, I think that would be great. Jay said it was a great slideshow. Yes, Cass, I would like to rate as usual. Um, the beings came from all the places. It's not black and white, higher density as well as our own density type beings, but far rarer of those. 100%. Everything has a frequency, everything has a vibration. Um, there are lots of dimensions, lots of frequencies. So I 100% believe that other beings, other people, other beings are walking in tandem with us that we just can't see and they can't see us. And then sometimes when certain frequencies come together or they clash, um, or your vibrations match with somebody else's, it throws out a little ripple wave, and you're like, oh, this is interesting. Um, Ash Ash enjoyed um the slideshow. Ah, you're a wise guy there, Mr. Sean. You sure it's double A and not rechargeable? Jerk. Um, gas attack. Um, so again, I enjoy doing these shows. I'm thinking about putting out small little, quick little clips during the week of just little things that I come across that are interesting that only take about, you know, 5 or 10 minutes to talk about or explain. Knives don't need that. Shut up, Mike. Um, uh, so I kind of want to do that. Start throwing out a few more. Um, work on my channel maybe a little bit more, get it out there. But I do love the concept of this. I enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it gets your guys' imagination going or thinking or turning. Um, and again, if you guys have any show ideas that you want me to look into, um, throw them in the comments. Send me a DM on X. You can find me right there, SHRTY7081. On X. You can also send me an email, same thing, SHRTY7081 at yahoo.com. Just make sure you put show idea in the subject. Like Kat said, please keep sharing. Um, Gina needs to keep growing. I usually only post my channel every Sunday before I go live. And my channel has been growing. I picked up a few more. I don't know if Neuro is still here, but Neuro, I want to throw a huge shout out to you. Um, Whenever I pop in a new channel and I see you in there modding, because you're like the crazy Rumble mod of the entire Rumble platform. You're always friendly. People love talking to you, and you're so sweet. You always throw out my spicy channel, and it's amazing. And Cass and Ash and Mike and Sean and Nether and Colty and all you guys, the reposts, the shares, the comments after we end, it all helps. It all helps spread the love, the joy, the fun. And I hope it never ends because I love you guys. It's a lot of fun. I love being here. And I learned fun things in the process. Like I said, Voynich, never heard of it in my entire life. And it sucked me in. I thought about this and I did some research on it, and it's a lot of fun. Um, yeah, Neuro was here. He was here in the beginning. I saw him over on Viva was live earlier, and I stopped in and said hi to him and Encryptus, and there's some good topics going on over there as well. But he literally is everywhere. Like you jump into a chat, I'm gonna say 8 out of 10 times you're gonna see Neuro in there, and he's gonna have the little shield logo. Cass, who do we have that is live out there? Yeah, Noro is 100% the mod king. Let's see who we have going on. Who do we got? So we have Cool Frog, we have Darth, we have Pastor Chardelet. Who do you guys want to travel from here to? We can drop you into the Rumble platform. Nether Knight, thank you for the repost. I see it. I appreciate it. Cass also with the repost. Colin Fryan just started following my channel. I appreciate you. I will check out your comment after the show is done. Everyone looks like they say they want to go to DJ. We love Darth. I love Darth. He's such a great guy. Darth is a lot of fun. Ash, we have to touch base this week to see what our plans are. And in the meantime, maybe we can maybe I can expand another slideshow for you if you like those and you think that would be something on your channel that you would like. Sean, thank you for reposting that. I just got that notification. I appreciate you guys so much. So we will go to Darth, but before we go there, I just want to again say thank you to you guys for joining on your Sunday evening. I know you guys are busy. You guys have so much stuff to do. Tomorrow is a holiday here in the States. It is Memorial Day, so make sure you think of that. Make sure you say a prayer for all our vets, and make sure you say a prayer for all our vets that are no longer here. We love you guys. Um, Ash said, "Yes, Gina, I dig your slideshow." So we'll touch base. Maybe I know you threw out a few names that we're going to be talking about, and I sent you some bullet points on some of them. But if you want to pick maybe one or two, I can maybe try to work on that this week for the show. But until then, you can find me here every Sunday evening, 9 p.m. On YouTube and Rumble at Mom's Mystery and Mayhem. Make sure to smash that like button, share to all your friends, co-workers, loved ones, even your enemies. They may dig it. You never know. Underneath, you can comment when the show is over or even before the show is over. And then make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So when I do go live, if I plan to go live in the future at different times, you will get that notification that I am live. Where else can you have this week? You can find me over at Third Railify. We do have the Nerd show tomorrow. Mikey, I still haven't seen the gay notes yet, so I don't know what we're talking about. So you can stick that in there if you'd like. I wouldn't say I'm the queen of streaming, Cass, but I definitely have a lot of fun. Again, appreciate you. Again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Possibly now Saturdays, I don't know yet. You can find me over at Third Railify, where things are a little bit more crazier. Definitely not PG or friendly. Well, I take that back. They're friendly. Definitely not PG. A lot more fun. A lot more interesting, I think the word is. Definitely not mysterious, because we definitely learn a lot about each other over there. But again, I want to appreciate you guys all for being here. Cass, if you want to go ahead and drop that raid. What? Yes, you are. You're everywhere, and everyone enjoys you being live. Don't listen, guys. She is. I appreciate you, Cass. We did make some new friends this week, and I heard secretly that they had very nice things to say about me, which was nice. It's not very often that you're gonna get a boy from Jersey who's gonna get along with a girl from Boston. It's just in Boston don't mix. Oh, Cassie, you want to get that started? Don't hit it just yet. Or set, yeah. Cassie, you want to set up that raid, dear? Or did Cassie leave me? Maybe I can find it. Let's see here. There's Darth. Da-da. Share. Copy. Definitely have to mute that. Oh, did she already do the raid? Oh, okay. Well, on that note, folks, thanks for tuning in. I totally missed that dropping. Appreciate you all for being here. I'll catch y'all next week. Have a good one.
Stop the boat!
We're there.
Where?
Here. A small step for mankind, but a giant step for us.